Dr. David Krueger, executive mentor coach and author, on his book, The Secret Language of Money.
I'd like to illuminate a story that each of you has inside you that you write every day. You talk about it each day, think about it several times a day, but you may not know how to tell it to yourself. An internationally known self-help guru was discussing this with me, and he said, "You know, Dave, I don't know how to tell this story to myself in order to know what to change." Why is it so complex? Part of the language is secret. It has encrypted messages. It's also complicated because some of it is emotional, some is unspoken, and some is even unconscious. This is the longest relationship you'll have in your life. Your parents talked about it before you arrived. People will talk about it after you're gone. You may get 10 years out of a car, perhaps 50 with a spouse, but this relationship you can't break up with, you can't run away from, you can't coax it into loving you more. The genre of this story can be fiction or nonfiction, tragedy or triumph. This story ghostwrites everything that you do, from what you eat and drink to what you plan and play. You may use it to regulate your mood, adjust your self-esteem, or influence others. And most importantly, the way you live this story will be what you teach your children. It will be the model they'll see and take in. The villain or the hero of this story is the most popular legal substance to all people of the world. You speak with it, it speaks to you. It's your money. Why do we make these money errors? Because of the way that our minds and brains work. And the more that we give money meaning, the more we lose the focus on what it really means. And then we do goofy things with money. Intelligent people spend money they don't have. Sophisticated people get scammed, sometimes repeatedly. Reasonable people forego pleasure to pursue money in order to purchase back a part of what they just forfeited. Gifted people can't convert their talent into reasonable income. Otherwise balanced people may spend extravagantly or hoard compulsively. Dependable people can ignore financial matters until they mushroom and get serious. Highly principled people step over boundaries or create their own rules about money. You have a handout of 27 money mistakes and financial fallacies. I'd like to highlight just a few to show you how familiar you are with them, but may not recognize it, and how important it is to understand them in order to counter them. Nostalgia bias. Nostalgia remembers not as it was, but as we wished it to be. Airbrushed memories backlit by idealization. Who has not gotten slightly to surely better at high school and college sports over the years? My point average in basketball has edged up just a little bit over the years. And in nostalgia, we use that more when times are bad, and especially financially. Marketing even uses nostalgia to couple a nostalgic image with new information. Arnold Palmer and that old tractor, two classics preserved by the same motor oil. Invincibility bias, the inextinguishable sense of immortality that we had as adolescents. We still have a whisper of that as adults. For example, 19% of people in the United States believe they're in the top 1% of income earners. 90% of people believe they're better than average drivers. 75% of people believe they're healthier than average. And remember the invincibility of the tech rally of the late 90s. Affinity bias. We underestimate the risk of the things that we like, and we overestimate the risk of the things that we don't like foreign enemies or an out-of-favor stock. If you bet $20 on the Super Bowl favorite and lose, bad luck. If you bet $500 on your alma mater, even though they have the worst team in the conference, affinity bias. Collective tilt. Tilt is what poker players tell us is the reaction to winning big or losing big. Someone gets emotional. When that happens, their right brain, their emotional brain, overrides their left brain, their logical brain, sometimes even seizes it and holds it hostage. An example of how emotional contagion can affect groups of people as a collective tilt. 433 people recently voted on a proposal. If only 12 people had voted differently, the proposal would have passed. As a result, in the next few hours, the stock market lost 1.2 trillion in value. The emotional contagion of an event and its effect on group, a collective tilt. Our money stories are a large part of our life stories. Some are really about money. Most, though, are private or even secret that hitchhike on money. Remember this, whatever remains unconscious will be attributed to fate. With awareness of your money story, you can choose the responses and choose the way you write it day by day and moment by moment. And with a plan, the 7-step roadmap process, you can write a new money story.